But I gotta ask you as well about like the new big thing in wrestling is AEW, and for me personally, I'm not a fan, and I think that their fan base, it's like I love Star Wars. Believe it or not, if this T-shirt doesn't give it away, but with Star Wars, do you ever get when you go to see one of the films and then there's a grown adult dressed up as Yoda at the midnight showing and he's crying with excitement? Well, that's the way I see AEW fans. So the question I would ask for is, what do you think about the fact that AEW fans are so hyper overly praising everything and ignoring all criticism while shitting on anything WWE does?
I mean, look, you're always going to have a portion of that with whatever fan. Like, there are WWE fans who will not say that WWE did anything wrong. There's people who hate everything that WWE does. I think with AEW, I mean, I've watched the first couple of shows. I've been impressed with overall how they've done. And I think no matter who you are, like, it's good for wrestling that they're around. But I think a lot of the reason that maybe some people are not shitting on them or being very overly positive is because they really want them to succeed. They really want it to get better because, I mean, WWE's been a slog this year. It really has, more so than I can remember. So I think a lot of people just want WWE to sort of be challenged or to be, get a kick up the arse. And I think that's maybe more why, the sane, intelligent people are maybe be more into AEW. But the big test is going to be in October when they go on TV, and I assume Jericho is going to be the champion when they go on TNT because that would make sense. He's the big name that they've got. So I hope they do well. I'm rooting for them, and the Orange Cassidy thing you mentioned earlier on. That's where it's going to be interesting of how much of the kind of they're trying to do something for everybody, and eventually you're going to have to kind of cut the dross that aren't working. So like that Michael Nakazawa and Jed DeBailey match or whatever from the pre-show at Fyter Fest, that was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. It was so bad, but I don't think that they're under any illusion that it was good. Apparently he's the CEO of that gaming festival, so like they got the gaming festival gig because the guy was like, "Can I wrestle in your pre-show?" and they let him. So yeah, I don't know if that answers your question, but I think the big test will be in October. Can they do 2 hours of TV that people want to go back and watch each week?
Yeah, to me, it's like praising Star Wars Episode 9 already. It's like, well, let's wait because we did that with Episode 8 and it was a bit of a letdown. But I gotta ask you this in regards to AEW. Now they're AEW, they're very pro liberal politically. I guess some people call it SJW instead of AEW. And as you say, you're part of the gay community, and hope you had a good Pride Month, by the way. But does that actually matter to you? The way AEW is very, we're pushing Sunny Kiss and we're pushing women and all this stuff. But surely at the end of the day, what we want as viewers is an entertaining show.
Yeah, no, I mean you're right. I mean, I think there's a lot more to it in the sense of like this. So Sunny Kiss, for example, I've only seen Sunny Kiss at that Battle Royal on the pre-show, so I don't know if Sunny Kiss is really good or not. So like, I'm still willing to give him a shot. I think you're right that you shouldn't just have people you shouldn't just have a performer because they're gay. You should have them because they're good and they so happen to be gay or whatever. But like Nyla Rose, that Nyla Rose is a trans woman. I actually thought she did really well at Fyter Fest. And we put a video up about her, and some of the comments are just like, "Why does it bother you that much? Like, is she like why? Like, even if you're like, I don't understand the trans thing or whatever it is, like, why be so angry about something that's got nothing to do with your world or what's going on or whatever? I think the reason, I think that where they're being clever right now is WWE going to Saudi Arabia is, I don't know what you think, but it's a tough pill to swallow in some ways. Do you know what I mean? It's very like, they're Saudi Arabia are being accused on international media of, chopping up journalists and stuff and all this kind of thing. WWE are going and everybody's making a lot of money. It feels quite dirty, but I think because it's so public, it's harder to kind of ignore it. With AEW, what they're doing is they're kind of going, well, hey, we're just going to kind of be for everybody, I guess. And that's going to work to their advantage in some ways and not in others. But it's like you talked about earlier, like people are so negative right now that I like the idea of a promotion being like, we're just everybody's kind of welcome to come and try things out. If we're 9 months down the line and you've got a Sunny Kiss or whatever, and they're not good and they're there as a sort of just a poster of whatever it is, then that's a problem, I think. But they're trying to be a far more liberal promotion than WWE are, and I don't know how that's going to go because so for example, with WWE, if you noticed that like every other president that America's ever had, WWE have mentioned the president multiple times, whether it's Bill Clinton or George Bush or Barack Obama, they have not once mentioned Trump at all. Like, to the point where when Bobby Lashley came back, they didn't even show Trump in the Battle of the Billionaires. Like, that's unheard of. So, I mean, everybody's right now it feels like if you don't agree with somebody, like you have to just hate each other, and so I don't know how that's all going to play out, but AEW are trying a different strategy than WWE, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.